Yes, so I need to add 4 tablespoons. Now I could measure in 4 of these, and each time I measure I have to be careful to make sure that there is level water for the whole tablespoon in there. If the cup starts to get a bit low, sometimes I won't get as much water, so I'll need to top the cup up as I go to measure the 4 tablespoons. But I've actually found something that works even better. If I need exactly an even number of tablespoons, so 4 or 6, this little cup here actually measures in 2 of these. So this is 2 tablespoons. So that just makes it a little bit easier to do. To get my 2 tablespoons of water, I'm just going to dip it into this little container here, make sure it's full, and then I'll pour my 2 tablespoons of water in here. And I need, what am I? I'm medium, so I need 4 tablespoons full. And I'll pour my other 2 tablespoons of water in here. And then I'm done with my water. Now, when we organise this, we will have one of the buddies will get the flour and come back to the table and give the cup to the other buddy, and the other buddy will come and get the water. That way everyone has a chance to do it. So once you have it, we're going to start stirring. We'll probably all start stirring around about the same time, because we don't want someone to be stirring for 5 minutes and someone to be stirring for 2 minutes. That might affect how viscous the fluid actually becomes. Now, while I'm mixing up, there are a few things that I need to take really good notice of. Okay, one is this. If I turn up this cup now and look in underneath, I can actually see down here, this is the line where there's still flour in the bottom of my cup. Alright, just a sec, gotta wipe my hand, made a little bit of a mess. And I don't want to tip the fluid out, because that would actually make it an unfair test. Now, because I know that there's fluid, there's whole flour still at the bottom, I need to keep stirring, and I need to dig up from the bottom to make sure I get every bit of that up, because if I don't mix it all in and somebody else does, then that wouldn't be a very fair test, would it? Okay, so I'm trying to pull up from the bottom. And when I'm finished, I'll turn it over and I'll have a look and I'll see, oh no, look at that. See, I can see there's more white stuff there where the flour's not mixed in. I need to dig that up. And when you're looking at it, you'll probably put the cup up above your eye level and look at it from underneath. I can't lift it up like that unless I want to lose you being able to see it. Oh, see, there's still some there. Push it down, pull it up, make sure it all gets mixed in. We want to use it all. Now, the other area where we might have some problem with the flour is this area here. I suspect this big clump here actually isn't properly mixed in. Okay, I can also see that there are some lumps in my mixture. Let's have a look at this. Oh, see, that's quite thick. It actually is mostly mixed in, but some of that flour still isn't mixed in. So I'm going to do this and make sure that I don't leave very much on my finger because we don't want to make it an unfair test. And then I'm going to try and get this mixture as smooth as I can. If my mixture were extra lumpy and someone else's mixture was extra smooth, that would affect the test, even if they had the same amount of water and the same amount of flour. Okay, so keep mixing, mixing, mixing. Try and squish some of the lumps out on the side like this if you find some big lumps, and get it done really, really well. Okay, so the next thing I've got to do, there's still some lumps here, but I'm sure you will spend time and make sure it's even smoother. But the next thing I've got to do is is I've got to pour my mixture out on a plate. So here's my plate here. Now, because I want to make it a fair test, I'm going to aim towards dropping it in the center of the plate. Okay, so exactly the center. I'm not going to pour it over here. I'm not going to pour it over here. I'm going to aim for the center with whatever viscosity fluid that I have. And when I pour it, I'm going to try and pour it as briskly as I can. So I don't want to just dribble it out a little bit at a time. I'm actually going to get it on that dot. I'm going to turn it over and I'm going to start scraping it out pretty much straight away and try and get all of it out. Now we've got 2 minutes to allow this fluid to fall to its position, and you'll notice that I actually ruled in some measurements on my plate, because as this spreads, I can actually, look at that, see? Now you're going to do a better job than me, because that's actually some flour that hasn't been stirred in. So we'll time this for the 2 minutes, and then we'll see how far the fluid's spread. I can see that my fluid spread here from about 2 centimeters to about 15 centimeters. So to work out how many centimeters spread that is, I'll just take the 2 centimeters off it, and I know I have about a 14 centimeter spread. Of course, the 2 minutes aren't up yet, but we're not going to sit here and wait for 2 minutes. When I'm finished with this experiment, all of these items are going to be taken and put in the big green bin, because our classroom bin's not going to have enough room to put it in. So this and this, we won't be washing them up. They'll all just be stacked nicely, so I'll get all the plates stacked on top of each other and all the cups inside with the spoons inside that, and we will put those in the bin, and then we'll make our observations about what we actually observed. Remember, if I've got the medium cup, then I'm going to compare with the people nearest to me who have the low viscosity and the high viscosity cup. I'll collect their data to put into my table. Okay, let's see how we go.